name is Javi Martinez and my name is Brenda Martinez. School shootings in the United States are on the rise. The issue of gun violence and mass shootings are usually in the news, and young people are more concerned about what is happening. We want to talk about it, and we think this is a sensitive topic and also a very fun one. First, we are going to tell you the statistic of how many shootings were in this year. There were at least 74 incidents of gunfire in, I think it's not, okay. There were at least 74 incidents of gunfire in a school ground this year. Most of them were committed by men. The study shows that exists a relation between toxic masculinity and mass shootings. According to Miller in his article, "Want to End Mass Shooting Start with Toxic Masculinity," he deduced that we are dealing not only with a psychological problem but with a social one. Where this topic is important, there has been an increase in school shootings in the last year. Schools have been created to be a safe place for the students and faculty members, where they can work in an environment that is conducive to learning. Students and staff who witness a school shooting are likely to suffer from traumatic stress, become anxious or depressed, and have more concern about their safety. Also, we need to understand the stigmatization of mental health, understand violent video games, and also gun control policies to understand where are school shooting happening. Also, we need to understand why this topic is important because we need to plan a solution and emergency plan. We are going to explain what is a school shooting. A school shooting is an event in which a student or an educational institution injures, kills, or shoots another student on the ground of the institution, regardless the number of victims, any day of the week, time, or any reason. The incident gets classified as a school shooting and added to the national statistic, or gets classified as another type of crime, such as robbery or gun violence. This is really necessary classified because it's necessary for the government shows a statistic of what is the real problem.
We have 5 stages of the school shooter's profile. The first one is the chronic tension, where all the negative things that happen inside the schools affect the victim. Then we have the uncontrolled tension, where these negative things that happen in school are presented in the internal relationships. And then we have the acute tension, where loss occurs.
The first stage is the planning, and it's the stage that how time is spent attacker planning the massacre. Most of them spend at least 2 days, but many of them can list not only days but months or weeks. For example, the Colombo students spend more than a year planning their attack. The last stage is the massacre in school, and when the attacker get access to gunfire, they shoot at the school.
The gun lab. To understand how the easy access to guns are related to these school shooters, we need to understand some history. The Second Amendment was established on December 15, 1791, that permits every USA citizen to bear and have access to guns. So this shows that every citizen has the facility to have a gun and can use it to self-defense. And this was established when the independence was done, so people could protect themselves.
It is important to emphasize that a school shouldn't take place in a period of less than 50 minutes. In that time, reactive measures like resource officer when emergency plan can be very difficult. If you are in a school shooting, the first thing you need to do is run and escape. Get away from the shooter's view is top priority. Also, the second is hide if escape is not possible, and the third one is fight absolute last resort. The national report suggests that 71% of the attackers were victims of bullying. They felt symptoms of depression, struggle with narcissistic tendency, and severe isolation. and they develop a way of strength thinking that helps them to rationalize homicide.
Violent video games. We all know that violent video games provoke aggressive behaviors in young generations. So the APA, that is the American Psychological Association, a group of specialists shows the statistics that violent video games provoke on young generations. Despite this information, these statistics doesn't apply to the school shootings. What does this mean? That the school shooters are not related of playing video games. So violent video games does not really affect the interaction in schools, but they affect how the aggressive behaviors could provoke violence inside the school. We also have the violence in TV shows. We know that the theory of learning is really important in young generations. What does this mean? This means that everything they see on TV will affect the environment, the internal relationships, and how they involve in the school, their family, or even the areas that they will go to. So this affects because the more violence they see on TV, this will provoke that they'll see a violent way to solve social problems. So if they see guns or violence in TV, they will see this as a solution to solve them by themselves. That's why it's very important to know the rated things in TV that are related to young people and who are for adults and who are for children. The family roles. Okay, unfortunately, some of the school shooters come from broken homes. What does this mean? This means that they live with one parent, an adopting family, or they don't even have a family. So they don't have someone to talk to, they feel isolated, misunderstood, and they feel alone. This doesn't mean that every young person that is living in this condition will provoke a mass shooting. This means that they will have less opportunities to develop some abilities to provide the comfort to some family that will protect them to not go, and all those problems that are affecting them will show them in violent behaviors inside the school. School challenges. We know that these changes and these new school mass shootings all across the USA is affecting the environmental and social interaction with students. So the challenges that have schools right now is to have every counselor in every grade, so that the students that are passing through bullying, through hard moments, to family problems, they will feel comfortable to talk to an adult who will listen to them, who will allow them to show what's going on, and to produce sort of communication to not doing negative things. This.
In conclusion, the school shootings in the United States are growing since many years ago, but nowadays we can understand more the causes and create an effective and preventive solution. Also, schools need to support their students by creating programs to promote peace and identify the problems like family playground, violent video games, or bullying. We need to understand more about this problem because many of them don't know how to be social with another person. So the students need to teach them reduce aggressive behavior, but also teaching them the emotional and social skills necessary to get along with others. Thank you.